From Mamma Mia, welcome to The Spill, your daily pop culture fix. I'm Laura Brodnick.
And I'm Ksenia Lukic.
And coming up on the show today, Taylor Swift has announced a new movie, but it's not the movie project anyone was expecting. We have all the details on that. Plus, there's been a huge update in Hollywood's biggest split, and we might have a sexy new romance on the horizon. Friends have taken sides. Hollywood stars have taken sides. I'm making that sound really serious only because it is, guys. It's so serious. So we're going to get into that. But first.
Okay. So this is something that I have been seeing all weekend, and is Matthew McConaughey talking about the secret to his 15-year marriage with Camila Alvarez. So he's promoting this new book called Poems and Prayers, which is like this memoir of poems and prayers, I guess.
Yeah, it is what it says.
And he was talking about, the reason why his marriage is so successful. And I was like, okay, what is this?
And I wake up one morning and I'm looking over there and Camilla's like a football field away, man. Man, this damn king size bed's not good for the marriage, man. Get rid of that son of a... We got a queen size where we're shoulder to shoulder. I'm telling you, it's good for your marriage.
In the words of How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, bullshit.
I've got to say, because I saw the headlines before I saw the actual clip or the interview or anything like that, and I saw these headlines, Matthew McConaughey shares sexy secret, bed secret to long marriage. He spills his sex secrets with Camilla. And the first thing I thought was, this is going to be a letdown, because these headlines are promising me some Matthew McConaughey sex talk, which I personally am not into, but I think they're cute as a couple. And I clicked into it and it was the most boring thing you could think of.
Okay, I know that this doesn't, but the reason this really hit me is because I do not like being touched in bed.
Fair.
I will do a quick spoon and then I need you to get as far away from me as possible. Also, I have 2 small children and, Matthew's talking about how his kids are now out of the bed, but they're constantly in my bed. And there is nothing worse than tiny toes in the back of your kidneys at 2:00 in the morning. And children, no matter how small they are, for some reason, take up the entire bed. So it's king or super king. If I could go bigger than super king, I would. And as a tall girl, and my husband's a tall man, and he's really warm as well. I'm like, get away from me, you're sweaty. I do not like to be touched in bed.
Yeah, look, I don't think it's the wrong thing to say. I just think the promise of a sexy marriage story and then the size of the bed was a bit of a letdown from what I've come to expect from Matthew McConaughey, because he often has a bit of a no filter situation when he's talking about his family, for better or for worse. When he said we've gone from what was it, a king to a queen? Not that much of a difference in that.
It is.
That much of a difference?
It is.
That he can't see Camilla and now they're shoulder to shoulder every night? I would have believed him more if he said a king to a double.
I mean, I'm not going to go into bed lengths because I feel like
I was going to say, I do think we've hit a new low here.
I feel like that's just the most boring thing ever. But Cameron Diaz and Benji Madden actually have separate bedrooms.
Oh, yeah. I'm way more on board with that. And I feel like that's how most people would prefer to sleep. I know so many people now who have separate bedrooms. I mean, in this economy, that's incredible if you can swing that. But I would 100% be on board with that.
Well, I think we spend the majority of our lives in our own beds with our own space. And then all of a sudden you're in a marriage and you're expected to share a bed with someone. We've got snorers, we've got kickers, we've got I mean, the other night I accidentally slapped Dan in the face. I do think that it's not necessarily a bad thing to need to have some separation in a bed. And Matthew McConaughey, I usually like what you say and your voice is beautiful, but I absolutely hate this advice and I just need you to do better, Matthew.
Okay, we have a bit of an update in the Nino Dobrev and Shaun White breakup. So at the time of recording, I'm saying this like we're reporting on some hard-hitting news that's unfolding as we speak. At the time of recording, neither of them have confirmed the breakup after being together for 5 years, but there's been so many sources that have confirmed it, and also they've both been posting so much online. I think that if there was a story out there that your relationship had ended, you would address it. So I think it's safe to say. And I don't judge Nina Dobrev for just completely turning off her comments and walking away from that. But the reason she's back in the news, have you seen these photos?
I have seen
She's
these
doing
photos.
a bit of a yacht trip with her friends around Sardinia, around the islands, and it all looks very chic and sexy and like they're filming an old school J-Lo music video. But it's who's on the boat that people are talking about.
And I love who is on the boat. It is none other than Zac Efron. So people are connecting the two as a potential new couple, but there's other people on the boat.
The friend group is kind of the interesting thing. So it's all being led by the Tellers. So if you're not, I'm sure people know Miles Teller from, Top Gun, blah, blah, blah. But he and his wife, Kelly Teller, are very much kind of the linchpin for all of like these young Hollywood couples. Like they're always the ones who are having everyone to their house before it burnt down. Obviously, that's very sad. Having people like on their yachts, all this sort of thing, walking with their friends to red carpets. Like they seem to be kind of this interconnecting glue in kind of, I wouldn't say young Hollywood because they're all in their like late 30s and stuff, mid-range Hollywood. They're the connecting glue.
Sorry, do not start calling.
I didn't say midlife, I said mid-range.
Just be careful.
Hey, I'm in that group.
I know
we're
both in that group. Let's be gentle with ourselves.
I love the idea of saying that it's like when Zoe Kravitz was dating Harry Styles and everyone was like, oh, young Hollywood. I mean, Zoe Kravitz is nearly 40 and I love that that's the age bracket she's in because, again, that puts us in that age bracket.
Yes.
So these photos have come out and the first kind of thing that's really interesting is that this is the group that all used to hang around with Shaun White and Nina Dobrev when they were engaged and they were like Hollywood's, like beautiful love story. And it just kind of has come across that the friend group has really picked a side with Nina Dobrev and that because they not only are there pat pictures, there's so many pat pictures, but they are all posting like crazy to their socials. And it has the air of like a breakup holiday with your best girlfriend, which is Nina Dobrev and Kelly Teller, but Miles Teller's there. And then also Chase Crawford is there from Gossip Girl. He's in the group. He's always on the sidelines of these groups smiling like he's just happy to be included. And of course, Zac Efron is there because he is also really good friends with the Tellers. The Tellers are the glue.
Okay, so as I understand it, Shaun and Nina used to have like dinner parties. They go on holidays with Kaylee and Miles. Mm-hmm. So they were like a bit of a couple group.
Yeah. So
now that they've broken up, the whole thing is like, who gets to keep the friends? And this is like my biggest fear. I've been with my partner for like 16 years. We are so enmeshed in each other's friendship groups that like trying to separate that would be like picking Play-Doh out of the carpet. The only reason that comes to mind is because that's what I was doing over the weekend.
Okay.
But like, is this really her picking a side?
I think it is them picking a side because it is so public. It is so like, if you look at the photos, like Nina's in the center. Everyone's always like cheersing their glasses to her. Kelly's like really hugging her. And it's just so, I don't know, people are saying it could be like a revenge trip because obviously she looks gorgeous. She looks like she's having the time of her life. Like I said, it looks like a music video or a commercial to be like young and beautiful in Hollywood and just drinking on a yacht with your friends. But it does kind of seem very pointed that the whole gang has rallied around one person. And whether or not that means that the rumors are true, because there's two different rumors at the moment and I don't know which one to believe, but there's the one that Shaun White cheated, which people only think because Nina Dobrev put out that TikTok saying like he's got a million other girls to be looking after him. I mean, that's a TikTok sound. We don't know about that. The other one is that there's a push and pull over who wanted kids and who wanted career. Some people are saying that he didn't want kids and she did. And some people are saying she picked her career over him. It's very messy. But the point is that a lot of people are putting the blame on Shaun, which kind of means that the friendship group would gravitate towards the other person. I love how parasocial this all is. The other thing is that this is also looking good for Kelly Teller because she had that, not a public falling out with Taylor Swift, but something has definitely happened there. Because you know how for a long time she was Taylor Swift, like Taylor Swift was the Nina Dobrev of like kind of this friendship group.
I mean, Taylor Swift has been best friends with everybody.
Yes, but for a while there, she and Kelly, like when she was at like doing the award show circuit, Kelly Teller was her date. Remember that photo of her and Selena Gomez and Taylor Swift at the Golden Globes? And those photos then went viral because it looked like they were gossiping. Kelly was also Taylor's like walking to dinner through the streets of New York holding hands. Like it was like her and Blake Lively. Yeah. And now she hasn't been pictured with Selena, with Blake Lively, with Taylor Swift. So it's like Kelly's been pushed out of that friendship group. And so she's kind of firming up her other group with these people. It's all very complex.
The one thing that I was really noticing is if she's just gone through a breakup, if she's just gone through a sort of separation after 5 years, she looks very, very happy.
She
Like,
does.
she doesn't. It's, you know,
Well,
when someone's winning a breakup,
Yeah.
at this point, she looks like she's winning. She looks very, very happy. At this point, I feel like most people would be in bed with like a tub of ice cream and, you know.
I'm sure that has happened. And also she looks very happy in the posed photos that have obviously been approved via the group chat and have gone onto everyone's Instagram. The bad thing is about where they are is that you can, with all the pat boats around them, you can get a long lens onto the boat. And so there are photos, pat photos, so obviously they're trash, but I did look at them. There's photos where she's looking down at her phone and it does look like she's crying, which is fair enough. She's probably doing both. She's probably crying and also laughing and drinking, two things at the same time. Which brings us to the whole Zac Efron situation.
Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily believe that there's a connection there already. I feel like that would be, one, very fast, and two, if it was anything, maybe it would just be a quick pash on the boat.
I mean, I hope that happened for her. Yeah, I see all these stories and everyone's like, they're dating, they're hooking up, and it's that same thing that we always say with celebrity photos is like they're dating if you look at the cropped photo that's been put on these like tabloid headlines where it looks like she and Zac are on the boat together, but every of the original photos when you zoom out, it's them in a whole big group. There's people around them. Sometimes they're talking. He is looking at her phone at one stage and they're laughing. She's probably showing him a TikTok and he's like, that's crazy. You know, that's the vibe between them. I kind of do love the idea of them having like a bit of a hookup, like a bit of a post-breakup hookup for her if she's in the right headspace, because I have a real soft spot for Zac Efron.
So do I. Zac Efron was definitely on my vision board as a teenager.
Oh, sure. Well, vision for what? To get married?
Marry him.
Oh, cute. Sure. Most people have like career, travel. You're like, I'm going to marry Zac Efron.
The Zac Efron hair of 2007 was just like.
Everyone's making fun of his bleached hair in these photos. It's not the best, but like give the guy a break.
I'm not crazy about the bleached hair, but there was that very iconic moment in 2007 during his High School Musical era of the flick.
Oh no, I can't get on board with the High School Musical Zac Efron because he looks like he should be in like one of those old schools like 70s sitcoms as like a kid or something. Like he's too childlike in that. I like later Zac Efron, especially because he's a really good comedic actor. Yeah. That gets me every time. He's actually like so good when he's put in a role where he's like the buff guy who's kind of making fun of himself, like in Baywatch or Bad Neighbors, or even like, what is it, Dave and Mike Need Wedding Dates. He's so funny in that.
So, funnily, if you know how you don't like meeting your heroes, you know, you don't like to interview celebrities that you have a big like affinity for.
Yeah.
I actually, because I had such a big crush on Zac Efron when I was younger, I was like really excited to interview him. The first time I interviewed him was at Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates.
Yeah.
And it was really bad.
Oh no, he was bad. Don't tell me that. I actually believe it.
But caveat on that. It was like the most intense red carpet I've ever been on. The screaming from the girls was so intense that like no one could hear themselves think. It was like this. It was like an echo chamber of screaming girls. I actually couldn't hear them because Adam Devine and Zac were doing the interviews together. I couldn't even hear them when they were standing like, you know, very, very close to me. So I was giving him a pass, but I was feeling a little bit disappointed.
Oh, see, that's
But then
why.
I interviewed him again like a year later and he was really lovely.
I knew he would
and
be.
And it was so good and it really just made me so happy.
To be fair, if you told me he was a douche, I'd be like, fair enough. That's kind of the vibe I get from him, but I would be okay with that.
He was a bit little for me though.
Oh, I've heard that. No, it's why he's got the hair right up and he wears lifts in his shoes like Tom Cruise, but there's only so much a shoe lift can do. But that's okay because that's not why. I don't like him because I want to hook up with him. I just find him like a dumb, funny guy who leans into being dumb and funny in a way that I so truly appreciate for where he is in his career. And I loved him in Hairspray. He's just so good in that.
He's so good in Hairspray.
But when I was looking at these photos of him and Nina Dobrev and stuff, I was like, this boy needs this. Like I would love him to hook up with a hot chick like that. Because he's had a bad run. Because the thing about Zac Efron's new face, which is so prevalent in that movie he did with Nicole Kidman, A Family Affair. The thing about that is like there's no good outcome around that because if you believe his story that he had a horrible fall and he smashed up his face and he had to get all this plastic surgery to fix his face, that is horrific. That is so sad for him and his perfect face. Or if you believe the rumors that he had so much plastic surgery because Hollywood made him feel bad about himself, even though he had a lovely face, and he felt the need to go and change his face to the fact that he doesn't look like himself anymore. That's also sad. So I'm like, I hate all the conversations around his face because he either had a horrible accident or he felt forced to do it to himself, and those are both really bad outcomes.
So the one that I kind of am leaning towards is that he feels like he was forced to do it, only because he talks about, do you remember when he was talking about how much work he had to put in on Baywatch and how hard he had to work and how he had a lot of pressure to sort of be in that really peak physical condition? And even after that, I remember him talking a lot about being in shape for movies and how difficult that was for him. So it wouldn't surprise me if he was doing the Botox and the fillers, and because you do notice, and I feel really bad saying this because, again, I'm a massive fan of Botox, but you can see, like, when he smiles, the top quarter of his face doesn't move.
It's also just that, like, if you watch his, I mean, it's harder to see in these pics, which I kind of liked because you look like old Zac Efron. But if you look at him in his, like, recent movies where, you know, his face is, like, full up on the screen, he just has a completely different face. And I just hate that for him, our sweet boy, who just something bad happened to him. So anyway,
So this is completely gone off the rails.
No, but I think it's important because they both, I just think he and Nina might be sitting there being like, we were both these, like, teen idols, and now we're like both, I think they're the same age. I think he's 37, she's 36, or the other way around. They're pretty much the same age. They've been famous for a kind of similar amount of time, and they've both been through a lot of shit publicly. So I actually think that they're not sitting there having sexy talk on the boat. In my heart, I think they're just sitting there being like, fuck, we've been through a lot, and, like, I just want to sit here and drink these, like, crazy expensive cocktails on a boat with our famous friends and, like, get some hot paparazzi pics to make everyone jealous of us. And I hope that's what's happened.
I can definitely see them together. Let's make a prediction. Let's put it on our vision board.
On a vision board. Can't say I have one of those, but I can borrow yours.
We'll do a vision board of Zac Efron and Nina Dobrev.
Okay. Manifesting that for those kids.
So, as we all know, Taylor Swift's Life of a Showgirl is so close to release, and we're very excited about it. And she's got a new movie coming. So we thought we would bring aboard our pop culture and social editor at Mamma Mia, Tina Berg.
Hello, it's me again.
You're going to give us all of the details on this new movie. People are really excited about it. Taylor announced it over the weekend. What can we expect?
Yes, I'm very excited too. As a Swiftie, this is where I shine. I feel like I know a lot of information about her personal life that is mostly for work, to be completely honest. I know
Whatever.
you guys
Sure,
bring me on and you're like, this
sure.
crazy woman's going to tell you about the backstory of all of her romances. But for me, it is like, it's the albums and the music videos. And, like, I used to sit on our family computer and watch, like, the Fearless videos and stuff. So, like, this is for me.
You're a real fan is what
I'm
you're trying to say.
I'm a real fan, actually. I'm not a fake fan. But so this is titled The Official Release Party of a Showgirl, which is a little bit much for me. I think that's too long for
That's
a movie
the name of the
title.
movie?
Well, that's what we're getting on the poster, and that's the official hashtag. So, like,
Okay.
It's kind of like a weird release party film. I think Taylor could have tightened that up a little bit, but that's her business. So the party is basically an 89-minute film celebrating the launch of her new album, The Life of a Showgirl, and it's dropping in theaters, like, in America the day that the album comes out. For us, it's going to be after, just because
Of
weird
course
timings.
it is.
American
Everything's
timings.
so late.
So I saw Event Cinemas are doing it from the
Yes.
4th of October.
Yes,
So
but it
if
will
it-
release on the 3rd here.
3rd of October.
Yeah.
But I feel like it won't be that different, because if it's 3 p.m. 3rd of October their time, that's like the middle of the night for us.
Yes.
I feel like with this scene at a midnight screening, because Swifties, they share information fast. That whole movie will be on TikTok within, like,
Yes.
20 minutes of it coming out.
Well, no, because there'll be, like, people in the cinema with laser pointers,
Yeah.
surely, all of that. So, yes, so this is
Sorry,
kind of
I
like...
just got I was like doing world clocking in my head.
Yes. Oh, being a Swiftie means you need to have all of the American times on your
Yeah.
phone to translate when it's going to be. So this is kind of like a global version of what she did for, like, 1989 Reputation and Lover, where she used to bring fans to kind of like her house or a house and do secret sessions. So she would often, like, give them a teaser of the music. She would sit there and she would explain like why she made certain lyrical choices, or she'd show them like how she made a sound come to life.
Because she tracked them all online, right?
Yeah.
Which like that is crazy government conspiracy behavior for anyone else who's not Taylor Swift. Because correct me if I'm wrong, because you're the diehard Swiftie fan person who's only half admitting that. But she used to watch all of these people, like these bloggers and these fans online for years before she
cherry-pick them. Yeah.
Who came to her house.
Yeah.
And she would make them like Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah.
And I can't believe this information's in my head. And like they would sit on the floor and listen to her songs, right?
Yeah. I know that Taylor now is like this like otherworldly level of famous, right? But obviously, even though she was so famous at the time, she was on Tumblr. Like she was on the apps. She was engaging with fans and like sharing silly little details about her life with them and her music with them. So yeah, she would follow them and like their content. And then
sad she can't do that anymore.
I know.
Imagine if she was on the stories right now. She was on the Insta stories, because like that, I think that's where she would be, not TikTok.
Yes. Oh yeah, she would be on the Insta
sharing
stories.
cat videos all day. I feel like the world has really been robbed of
There
something.
are whole accounts dedicated to like her old posts, because obviously
I've
she
seen
wiped
them.
everything with Reputation, and she used to just like be posting her cats, barbecue with the gals. Like she was a real social media queen.
We've been robbed of so much.
We
Anyway,
have.
Continue.
But so this is kind of what she used to do, but on a global scale for everyone, you know? So the movie will include the music video for the song The Fate of Ophelia, which is confirmed as the lead single, and she's clearly shot the music video for it, and we can talk about that in a minute. It will have personal footage behind the scenes of the video shoots of her directing, and it will have never before seen personal reflections. And my favorite part is that it will have some lyric videos. So it's like gathering around with your pals to watch a YouTube video together.
I love that.
What's a lyric video?
Okay. You're clearly not in any crazy fandoms, and that tracks. But so a lyric video is just a video of the lyrics on the screen.
Yeah.
And it's just like all the artists do them, but like once upon a time, like you would watch like the One Direction lyric video for their songs that don't have a music video, so that you could memorize all of the lyrics. This is like pre-Spotify.
Oh, but see, I would just Google what the lyrics were. I didn't
but
like
it's
watch
not the
the
same.
video.
It wasn't like
the
the
same.
same. So sometimes they wouldn't come out at the same time. And then with Taylor, sometimes there's a clue or something in them. So say like when she released like the 1989 Taylor's version lyric videos, there were some clues in them for like what would be next, because she's crazy.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, well, that sounds fun.
It sounds fun, but
sounds
also
fun.
it sounds weird for like a cinema full of people. It's like
No,
when you're at a
people
girls'
will-
night and everyone's like, okay, I'm queuing the next
Yeah.
YouTube video.
No, people will eat that up. They will
Yeah.
just. Everyone just wants to stand in their seat and sing together, because they all just at the end of the day want to be at a concert.
It kind of feels a little bit like church choir, because
Yeah.
like they're not going to know the melodies.
Yeah.
So, like, they're going to do that. The
Just
lyrics will
gonna
be on
sing.
screen and they'll all just be like guessing how to sing the song.
I mean, what a joy.
I can't wait. What a joy that's going to be.
She's definitely done this like off the back of, the Eras Tour
Yeah.
doco that did so well. She knows that this is going to be huge.
It'll be huge.
It's only a 2-day release, but I'm assuming it's going to be on like something like Disney Plus afterwards.
Yeah, so it's like being released in 540 theaters in the States, and it's already made $50 million in first day pre-sales.
Yeah.
And like the forecast is like 30 to 50 million at the box office in the US. She has a deal in the US that it's only AMC theaters, because she went direct to them for the Eras tour, and like basically just means they both get more money essentially. In Australia, Event Cinemas and Hoyt Cinemas have both shared posts saying that they will have the film coming to cinemas on October 4th and October 5th. But I do feel like this is one of those Australian things where it's going to be like select cinemas. Not everyone's going to be able to go. It's going to be a much bigger deal in the US than it is here. So it might be hard. It's honestly going to feel like flashbacks to fighting for tickets to the Eras tour.
Yeah, that's an intense. That's I can't go back to those days. I literally just got a stress heartbeat. Like
I can't go on
rhythm
Ticketek
of, like-
anymore. It just gives me the heebie-jeebies.
the dark
trauma.
days. Okay, I'm not criticizing the movie obviously, because I haven't seen it yet, and I can't even pronounce the title. What did you say it was?
Taylor Swift, the official release party of Vishoga. Wait, what?
Yeah, it rolls off the tongue is what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. So that movie. Here's my one, like, not a criticism, because I obviously haven't seen it yet and I haven't pre-bought tickets, so I'm probably not going to see it at the theatre
Can't pre-buy tickets.
unless someone wants to invite me to a premiere. I'm just putting it out there. Is that how much behind the scenes of the Eras tour are we going to get? Because obviously we had the Eras tour movie, but that was just the footage of her on stage. I want the setup. I want the travel. I want her crying from exhaustion. I want to know what she does when she leaves the stage. I want to be in the quick change underneath the stage where she's getting, not in a creepy way. I don't want to see her getting dressed, but I want to see like how she does all that.
You want to see the music video of I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, but like in a documentary form. You
Yes,
want that
yes, I would love
expanded on.
that.
See, I actually quite like the idea of seeing like the way she made the album and how all of this is coming together. I do think, though, she did say in her Instagram post that dancing is not expected but encouraged.
Yeah.
You know how there's been all this backlash of like Hamilton musicals and the K-pop Demon Hunters and people going like absolutely like singing too loudly and people having complaints?
Yeah.
I do feel like, is it going to get like a bit out of control?
It probably will because it's going to be like it's meant
But
to be
I think
a fun
you go to one of
event rather
these
than
cinemas, you kind of expect that. And isn't she's trying, because wasn't the Tortured Poets department, the criticism of that, everyone was like, too many songs, they all sound the same, they're all a bit sad, tortured, it's in the name.
Yes.
There was some criticism of that, whereas this is meant to be a return to her kind of like original pop girl.
Yes. So
roots,
she's
right?
kind of said that this is like a super tight 12-track album. There's not going to be surprise songs. There's not going to be vault tracks. Like this is what it is.
Do we believe her? Kind of, yeah.
Kind of, because like I do think she does this sometimes. Like it was like Red followed by 1989. Like Red was sort of an equivalent to Tortured Poets years and years before. And then 1989 was that really tight pop girl album produced by, in part, the same people, Max Martin and Shellback. So she's kind of said that this will be like vivid, crisp, focused lyrics like Folklore, also a pretty tight album, but then with the pop vibe. So we might be sad, but we'll be boogieing.
Yeah, I love that.
And I'm sure there'll be lovely tracks too. But back to sort of the Eras tour of it all, I don't think there's going to be any Eras tour stuff in this Life of a Showgirl film, but I think we're going to get the Eras tour doco.
Yes, but I keep hearing that, and where is it?
But this is all tied to Life of a Showgirl, right? Yeah. So like that was her Showgirl experience, and like she's got this running deal with AMC, Disney Plus, as you said. So likely this will end up on Disney Plus, and then I think it's going to be like music video, album rollout, single. Here's the documentary. Because why else were you filming the second time?
Yes.
What was that for?
Yes, so true.
You can't you can't tell me that you didn't get enough footage the first time. They filmed 3 nights for the first film and then they filmed 3 nights again. So what is it for?
Yeah, exactly.
It has to be a documentary.
I'm feeling I'm quite interested in the fact that the Fate of Ophelia is the title track.
Yes.
I thought potentially it would be the Sabrina Carpenter one, Life of the Showgirl, which is track 12, I believe.
Yeah. I feel like a collab for her, given that this is supposed to be like, again, a return to pop music, another like really big album. Like this is going to be the kind of album where she's going for Grammys, where she's going for everything. Like it makes sense to me that the first would maybe be a single on her own.
Yeah.
And I do think that obviously the Sabrina one will be after, but I definitely think that the music video is going to be really interesting because there was an Instagram post of her on the weekend sitting in front of this like floral backdrop in her director's chair. And like, if you don't know, Ophelia is a character from Shakespeare's Hamlet and she dies while gathering flowers in a river. And there's a really famous painting of Ophelia in the river and the background of Taylor Swift's video looks a lot like that painting.
And a lot like her proposal.
And a lot like her proposal. Girl loves a flower. A lot like
the
the flowers on her piano through the Eras tour. So people think that like the music video, it might not even be her. She might tap in like a famous actor or something since she's directing.
To play that part.
That it might be that like Ophelia comes to life or something in this music video.
Well, that's
through
the first
painting.
thing I thought is like when you saw that cover and it's like the water behind her and everything. That's very Ophelia-esque.
Yes. And like the vibe as well of that cover being very like, as you said, it's meant to be backstage. We're not doing Life of a Showgirl like razzle dazzle on stage. We're doing the come down and the after stuff. So I think you'll get your documentary that you dream
that's all I
of.
want, please.
My final theory
is,
you know how we had Brat Girl Summer Green? I feel like now it's going to be Taylor Swift Orange.
I can't pull it off. I think it's so unfair.
I
That's my
think
personal preference.
What about like a little orange look?
I'm too white for that. Taylor, I apologize to Taylor. I won't be dressing in the orange, but I applaud those who can pull off that color. It's beautiful, just not on me.
Yeah, I couldn't do the green, so I'm looking forward to the orange.
I might be able to do the subtle light green that is going with the orange for Taylor. That feels like a color I could maybe pull off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do your colours. You know those.
Maybe we should.
We'll do.
Because that's what I'm thinking is like I'm not whatever colour that orange is in. That doesn't suit me. But to everyone else, dress up, have fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that last insider tip. It's so important. It's like insider goss release
really
news,
pale,
Tina's skin tone.
And you want to wear that orange colour, I support your dreams too. It's just not for me.
Love that for you.
I think orange would look good on you too.
I'll give it a whirl.
Yeah.
I'll give it a whirl.
Can we do all of our colours? I really want to do the colour thing with the sheet over my neck.
Hot tips for this. No, next weekend. Go get your colours done on Friday evening. Oh, no, wait. You're going to need lead-in. Go get your colours done on Thursday. Friday, shopping spree. Saturday, movie.
Okay, love that. What a plan.
What an itinerary.